Okay, hi, this is Laura. I chose population ecology theory and agency theory. This first picture here, oh, come on, just gives us a quick, more scientifical definition of population ecology. It is a subfield of ecology that deals with the dynamics of species populations and how these populations interact with the environment. And this is just a little picture of what that looks like from the individual to the biosphere, just the different stages there of the ecology. What is population ecology? Population ecology theory proposes that changes occur at the population level and is a result of the process of organizational selection and replacement. An individual organization survival is then based on environmental selection of those organizations that best fit their particular localized environment. Some of the assumptions that go along with this population ecology theory is that the organizational change occurs at the population level through organizational births and deaths, so the beginning of something or the end of something. Organizations adapt to their environment and become institutionalized by retaining and reproducing their form. This is in turn promotes growth and survival as long as the environment does not change. Environmental selection favors organizations with high level of inertia. To achieve high levels of inertia, an organization must have high levels of reliability and accountability, which in turn help to create high reproducibility. High levels of inertia make it hard for the organization to change, therefore it will survive longer. So as long as it doesn't change, as long as when it's born, it stays a certain way, it's not going to change. That's what I've gathered from this, and I could be wrong. The theories, this is another one, is a quantitative study of organizational vital rates, founding, growth, mortality, that emphasizes the force of external selection over internal adaptation. I've gone just over a few of these categories: the founding, niche width, liability of newness, and smallness. We'll go over those real quickly here. So organizational founding helps identify new organizations and is helpful in the study of entrepreneurship. This is very close to me right now because I'm working for a new startup internet company. And so we're just in our beginning stages here. The niche-wide theory is the second one here. This model predicts that specialists have the advantage in stable environments and occupy narrow niches. So actually our homestead check is a very narrow niche. We're occupying this because it's just property tax and it's very specific, and like we're specialists in what we do. The liability of newness. We're a new organization. New organizations have a propensity for higher failure rates, which can occur because of internal, external factors. I think a lot of times people think of internet companies and they're like, oh, they're going to fail because of X, Y, Z. On the West Coast, people hear internet company and they jump all over it because you got to think of internet companies like Snapchat, Facebook. They got huge, and look where they are now. So they might see it as, oh, a new organization like this it's not going to make it, but we're going to make it. Okay, so liability of smallness. Smaller organizations may have difficulty raising capital, which of course, thinking of small businesses, they probably do. But smaller organizations also may not have the ability to offer the stability that larger organizations can provide because of the fact that they don't have as much capital. So these are some categories that go along with this theory. Continued, population ecology specifies that organizational change at the population level basically reflects four basic processes of variation, selection, retention, and competition. Organizations that can withstand these pressures will survive or be selected into the population, while the rest will be selected out, so face mortality. This makes me think of like survival of the fittest, like they're either going to make it or they're not. And if they're selected because of the population, they're doing really well, they're going to make it, and if not, gone. And this theory says that they're unable to adapt to changing conditions. So if they don't do well, if things start to shift and change, like the waters are changing and they can't do it. The scripture that popped in my mind for this one is 1 Thessalonians 5:21. But test everything and hold fast to what is good. According to the population ecology theory, an organization develops an environmental, like it stays in a certain type of niche and it adapts to this niche and it's good for them. So this scripture maybe correlates to it because it's like it holds fast to what is good. So if the organization is doing well and it's doing what it needs to do, hold fast to it, stay with it. In applying this theory to what I do for work, I work for an internet startup company. Heavy investments have been made to the company to ensure future success. Currently, the company is still in development, but I believe it already has a high rate of inertia. According to one of the population ecology assumptions, higher levels of inertia will produce higher levels of productivity, therefore making the organization more reliable. And I believe that's going to happen for our company. We're already sort of on that train already. Moving on, we've got the agency theory. Definitions for agency theory. Agency theory draws attention to certain behaviors of CEOs and boards that in aggregate create losses for society. Agency theory explains how to best organize relationships in which one party determines the work while another party does the work. This one makes me think of real estate agents and customers and the buyers. Agency theory assumes both the principal and the agent are motivated by self-interest, which we know is true about real estate agents. They're motivated by earning a commission. And then you've got the buyers that are motivated by wanting to buy a house. So here's a few of the assumptions. Self-interest, that individualistic culture, bounded rationality, and risk aversion. The bounded rationality is based on decisions that are made by incomplete information. So sometimes when you're working with different realtors or you're working with different loan officers, you're getting all kinds of different information. You might be making decisions too prematurely on some of these things. And then the self-interest, of course, again, the individuals that are part of this they're giving priority to their own benefits. And again, with the real estate agents and them, they're thinking of themselves there. The theory. So agency theory is a management and economic theory that attempts to explain relationships and self-interest in business organizations. It describes a relationship between principals, agents, and delegation of control. Explains how best to organize relationships in which one party, real estate agent, determines the work in which another party agent performs or makes decisions on behalf of the principal. So, I mean, just different, you just think about different management, people in management versus their employees and that kind of thing. Let's see. However, gradually the domain of the agency theory was extended to the management area of determining the cooperation between various people with different goals in the organization, all to attain that same goal. It also relates to situations in which one individual is engaged by another one to act on their behalf. Okay, so that really makes me think of just that whole real estate situation there. This is an example of agency framework. Talks about a firm which consists of two individuals. One is the owner, one is the manager. The principal has invested in the firm and has delegated the responsibility to the agent. The agent performs their services based on their agreement. The agent is motivated by their own interests, so he or she might do something that will jeopardize the benefit of the principal's benefits. To prevent the agent, a suitable control mechanism must be established. So this is something that has to do with control in a company as well, or in an organization. So the biblical connection that I saw for this one popped up was the one about the talents, Matthew 25:14-30. For it will be like a man going on a journey who called his servants and entrusted them to his property. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to another 1, to each according to his ability. Then he went away. He who had received the 5 talents went at once and traded with them, and he made 5 talents more. So also he who had 2 talents made 2 talents more, but he who had received the 1 talent went and dug in the ground and hid the master's money. Okay, so we know what happens here is the master gets mad because the other ones went and produced more money and, invested, and the other one did not. He hid his money because he thought the master was mean. But basically he jeopardized the principal's plans and what he wanted to do. So the agent didn't follow through with what he was supposed to do. So that's why he got mad at him and took his talent away and gave it to someone else. So that's a connection I have for that. Sorry, this was done very quickly. I hope it was clear. I hope it was interesting. Here are my works that are cited here, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, thank you.